we're going to go ahead and get started on the rear bumper. And what's nice about this bumper is the fact that it's actually separate pieces, right? So you have one on the driver's side and then one on the passenger side. So let's go ahead and get it cleaned up real quick. There's no removals needed for this bumper. We're going to give it a nice wipe down. And then, well, that's pretty dirty. We are going to go ahead and get the edges. To get the edges, we're going to go ahead and open it up. And then use your tack solution, get inside this, because it's actually going to wrap around quite a bit. Get to the top right here. Might as well clean the top inside right there. Get underneath right here. There's actually a good amount of edge. All right, so the exposed edge is going to be actually right here and then all the way in the bottom. So you are going to grab this pink squeegee right here, or a squeegee in general, and then wrap it around. Spray some tack solution. And then we're going to go ahead and do the bottom first, side, and then in between the rear quarter and the bumper. And look at that. That's a good amount of dirt, even though this is a pretty clean car. So now that we've done with that, we're actually going to go ahead and keep this open like this. And we're going to spray some slip solution all the way across. I'm going to be mainly using 2L. This is what I like to use. You can use whatever is comfortable for you, but that's my recommendation for this part of the module. What we're doing is we're just kind of getting all the dirt downwards, grabbing all the contamination and bringing it down, okay? Like so. We're just going to grab that real quick. Let's go ahead and spray it. And get it hydrated. And I have the rear bumper over there, and it's already hydrated, and we put a lot of slip solution underneath it. So just peel, spray as you go, peel the other side, spray as you go, and then you should be able to grab it with 2 hands. So let's go grab it. So notice how I have it on this corner right here, and then at the bottom, you're just going to lay it down like so. There's no need for alignment or anything like that for now, okay? All we're trying to do is just lay it down. And although this bumper does look simple, there's actually a lot more curve, and you can kind of see how it settles right here. There's a good amount of curve that goes this way, and it kind of expands out a little bit right here. So it is pretty concave in that manner. So we're going to go ahead and start on the outer side over there, and then work our way all the way in here, stretch across that body line right there. So let's get started. So start with this little corner. This is a very obvious point of alignment, in my opinion. So go ahead and try to do your best in terms of aligning that right there, okay? So we're just gonna go all the way in, like so. Just kind of play around with the alignment right here. And then once you feel comfortable, we're gonna go ahead and tack this down, okay? So that looks pretty good. All right. Okay. What you're looking for, guys, is the alignment at the top is really the most important one, okay? And you're going to just squeegee that down, spray some tack solution, you're going to seal that edge, all right? Now we're going to focus on this edge right here. You can see it has a lot of soap, okay? And then go ahead and we'll just grab that real quick. And just push this down, like so. Great. So you can see how it's inside. It's actually not over this edge. It's also inside this edge right here. So once you have this top angle anchored and this bottom right angle pretty much anchored, you're just going to pull this a little bit, okay, to make sure that it's completely aligned. So you see it's a little bit over. Just pull it back just a little bit like that. And you're just going to use the squeegee. I'm going to spray some tack into that edge. And it's aligned, and you're going to go out this way. So there's actually a soft body line. I don't know if you see that right here. That's really all I'm trying to tack down. All right, guys? So that is completely settled. And yet, you can actually still hydrate it and then make sure, because that's the only area that's anchored. So if it's been some time, you could kind of go underneath like so, and then basically just spray it down, okay? So next, you see there's all these fingers that are appearing is because there needs to be a stretch that goes all the way across. So one thing when we were designing this is we wanted to make sure that this is a good amount of stretch. So right here, we created a relief cut. That's where it goes right here into the bottom line. So that's your goal. I'm gonna get on this side and we're gonna go right into there, okay? So before you do it, make sure that it's moving around. You see how it's all moving around? There's nothing. So you're gonna go ahead and go all the way. That feels really good. Did you see that? It doesn't stay. So once you feel comfortable, you're gonna go ahead and spray a good amount of tack solution. You're gonna do the same thing. Go from here all the way across. That didn't quite work. And look how that just kind of fit naturally. Did you see that? So what I actually did, and this is a tip that it's hard to show on camera, but I kind of pushed it and put some pressure with my fingers right here. And what that does, it kind of pre-tacks it. So I haven't even tacked anything yet, but you can see that it held and it doesn't move around. And what's happening is I'm using the tack solution, which actually makes it a lot more the adhesive stick. And then now this is completely anchored. And you look at the stretch. All those fingers that you saw earlier is pretty much gone at that point. So what I like, the reason why we also do this is because now you split it from between top and bottom, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure you're getting enough hydration all the way around. Next step, guys, is making sure that all of this is good, okay? And then also all of these right here is also good. You can see that this is still not quite anchored. All right. I'm just making sure it's hydrated. I know it's fine. And if it's hard to kind of get in there, you can actually spray some in there, just like that. There you go. Okay, great. So now we're really hydrated and we're good to go. So next step, guys, we are going to make sure we get everything underneath, all down, and completely squeeze it out. So this corner is our next assignment point. I actually don't have to do anything. It actually just fit automatically. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray some tack. One spray is all I need. And it goes right there. And there's actually a really clear alignment point because it kind of ledges out, and then that's the edge right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything below this soft line right here. Get it all out, and then we're gonna just go ahead and move it out this way. And the reason being is we have this tack, we have this corner's tack, so you actually don't wanna enter back into that space, right? So while I'm doing this, I'm actually looking at this line, and it looks fantastic right here. So make sure you're looking at this line when you're doing this. I'm really focusing on everything below that body line, and yet I still want to make sure that this line is super clean, and it is. So we're gonna go ahead and keep moving. I wanna do it in about 3 to 4 inches at a time, and just moving that across this panel right here. So this is great. Make sure you're hydrating the top layer as well. And then really all that's left is right here. And I can do the same thing and move all the solution downwards. And look at that, I didn't go here because I actually tacked this already. So the only problem I have now are these little fingers. They're super minor. We're gonna go ahead and get under there and spray some tack solution. Let it sit a little bit. And I'm gonna try to change my hand to the left hand so you all can see a little bit better. You're just gonna push it down. This tack really does its job. Just holds everything down. I'm gonna go ahead and spray some more. Start from the top so it runs down all the way across. And look at that, perfect. Very, very happy with this. Very even all across, which is exactly what I wanted, okay? So now, the next step is to make sure that we do one more time, and we're gonna do a double take. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing any areas, right? I'm not going back into attack areas, but I definitely want to make sure that all bubbles are completely out. So that's pretty much it for the bottom part. You can see it's been some time since I've been doing the top, but the beauty about this is I can literally pull this back, spray under right into that area, and then also this little section right here that we haven't completely anchored down. So once we get to that point, we are going to be pulling into here, right here, and then after that we're going to do this area. So we're going to go into this corner first, kind of cross, and then after that pull this up, okay? So that's the order. Make sure you do exactly what I just did and hydrate it underneath that. So it's really nice and hydrated right there. It's a good bit. It's about maybe a centimeter or so, but I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick burst. I'm going to go ahead and just pull all that up there. Okay, same thing I did over there. I want to push it down. I just did that as a practice run. All right, so now that I'm comfortable, it kind of went a little sooner than I thought. All right, here we go. So that is a good tack right here. Making sure that my line right here is good, but this line also needs to be good, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and free this up a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get that down again. Great, and look at this line right here. Do you guys see that? This line is absolutely perfect right here, okay? Super clean. I'm very happy with that. We're gonna get to that in a second. We still have this one area. We're gonna go ahead and spray some more slip solution and then tack it down. Literally just go straight up into that. Look at that. And just hold it down with your finger, tack it down, it goes right into that corner. Now, the fun stuff, everything is stretched out exactly it needs to, just making sure this is good. You're gonna go straight into that area, go out. And if you remember, we actually got this down over here first and then over here. So we just want to get all this water out and then work our way across to the left side, okay? We also got this body line earlier, but we want to be careful. So I like starting a little bit below that and pushing all that water out, okay? Awesome. So this is fantastic. Just like I did earlier, guys. Do it one more time. We're going to do the double take. Don't go back into the danger areas, which is actually these corners, and then away from this right here as well. All right, so that's pretty much it as far as the difficult parts. We're going to go ahead and spray all the areas first with some tack. So the exposed edges right here, this is tack points. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of get it all out. Okay, another area right here. All right. And then now we have the edges that we need to wrap around from. So first off, let's go ahead and start with the top, and then we'll work our way to the left, and then we'll work our way to the bottom as well. Okay, so go ahead, spray a good amount of tack solution. Since there's a little finger here, I'm going to tackle this one first. Make sure you really fold over the edge like that. Did you see how I went over that? All right, so this is a little bit of a danger area, so I'm just going to warn you. There's a little bit of a kind of an angle like this. So you want to actually focus your finger on that area first, so you can bend this area so it folds over properly. So you can see, look at that line, absolutely perfect. All right, then you can go back to your squeegee, just fold over, and it's getting absolutely maximum coverage. So from an outside perspective, you won't even see any of those lines, which is really cool. All right, so this is done. You can actually seal that up by spraying a little bit more tack solution above it. Now, let's tackle all this. Start from the top. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the top right here. Okay, and then just, got a little contamination. Fold all the way over the inside edge. Same thing, here, and then over, and then here, over, like that. Okay, look at that clean edge as well. Let's spray some tack. Okay. Boom. That looks fantastic. All right, so we have one final edge to do. I like doing this where you're always using gravity to your advantage. Always start from the top, let the tack run down its course, right? So just let it run all the way down. Let it sit a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and focus on getting this down. Typically, if you do have a smaller squeegee, which we give you, it's a 1L, it's an angled one. You could also use this for this part. But you're just gonna go ahead and fold this down. And then in these areas, honestly, you could just use your fingers. Start with the kind of the valley right here. And there's a lot of surface for this to kind of stick, okay? The main thing is to really roll that around because there's gonna be a good amount. And I just wanna show you and be transparent with it. There's actually a bubble right here that I didn't get out, but you can let this travel down here. So that's what I did. I saw a bubble, so I let it go down all the way here and I can get it out. So make sure you're spraying enough tack solution. This is a little bit harder to kind of get into. So I just kind of lift it up and then spray. And then let's go ahead and go wrap it around. Oops. Wrap it around as well, really getting those edges. All right, lastly, great, but you're getting full coverage, right? Sometimes you'll see some areas kind of lift it back up. That's not a problem, just go back with it with some tack solution. And then sometimes if it really keeps holding off, you can actually use some of this microfiber right here and kind of get all that moisture away. So when you have water, the adhesion can be actually a little lighter. So by weakening up the moisture right here, it's actually gonna make it stick a little bit better. So you can grab a microfiber, run it across and get all that moisture out and it'll stick a lot better. But last part is to be proud of this rear bumper. Just kind of look at it, make sure you're happy with it. At this time, you could actually still fix a few things here and there, but the habit is you want to fix it as you go, especially when we compartmentalize it from top and bottom. So that's what you're trying to do, but that is how you wrap a rear bumper on the Model Y.